Yes, I. Greetings in the Rastafari name. I'm gonna play a video for the item. Straight up, man, I tell you. See? But you see that video here? It kinda reference a subject where I'm gonna always talk about or always up on my mind still. So I say? So I always try a lot of people, a lot of black people now realize say reparation. You see the argument of reparation really and truly. It's where in a lot of people's mind where it begins and ends. See? It's a illusion. You know, see, may I explain something to you? See, because I'm on come here in England, I'm there, I'm say the Prime Minister for England at the time, David Cameron, come to Jamaica and they might offer how much million to build up new prison to take back offenders, Jamaican offenders in England, rather than keep them over here and make them do them time over here. They would just deport them back straight to Jamaica and Jamaica make them do them sentence down there. You know, see, that was the pretext behind the whole prison where they try to build down there. See? But when enough Jamaican are realizing, I think shortly after that, or just before that, see, the man make a statement, make an announcement up here now with a smile, a grin on his face, a grin of, like, you know what I say? Pleasure, you can see the pleasure in the grin where I explain, say, the debt that was owed to the slave masters, the people who lost them slave, has just been paid off. I tell you about 2000, about 2017, you know. I don't want push the thing too far, but I know it's not very long ago in England, yeah, the man announced it, said black people just finished pay off them debt to the empire, seeing one of which he is a benefactor. Seeing the Prime Minister himself is a benefactor at that, you know, because his parents used to own slave, then even still have estate property at Jamaica. If you don't mind chap into the state of them one where them kick off the people them off the other day, yeah, treat them like slave, just like how them deal with slave. See? Anyway, that video yeah, is a argument about Haiti. Seeing and the reason for Haiti being in the position where it is in today. Seeing where Jamaica is heading as well. Seeing and how unfair and selective them people are mentality in terms of humanity and regards to human rights is. You know, see it? So probably if I come and do the video and explain all of them things where the brethren I say to the item will look on it like a fantasy alone, I say, you know, see it? Too bad what in it. Because, you know, American do them things. See? But in the middle and too close to the end, you have to swear words. So if the children know what, just prepare for that and see? Look out for it. See? But coming from an American mouth, possibly, most of the Jamaican brethren them will believe the argument, you know, see, and start a conversation. See, because when we talk about reparation, you know, we're going to make reference to the 500 years or whatever we'll build up for them economy, build up countries, build up nations for them. See, we don't talk about the other rest of time where we have to work and pay off back for our own freedom. You know, see, me as a Jamaican just finished pay off for my freedom the other day, yeah. You know, see, all of them income tax and all of them thing there with them so we have pay. However, you know, see, it's a country if you have pay, you have one of them payment that we go straight back where basically for the slave master them where they own our foreparents them. Back in the day, the one them will get free. You know, see it? Yeah. Britain claims that it have to compensate them for loss of property, which was us. See? But then we have to work and pay back Britain the money where Britain pay them. You know, see it? And that are right on the back of reparation argument. Because in the same period, the Jamaica people and the Caribbean people them did make some reference to reparation. But them talk about reparation for slavery. See? Want to reparation for buy back with freedom to as well. Because we did have to do that. Every black man who live in the West did have to pay for damages where was compensated to slave master where they own them and them foreparents. You know, see it? You see it. Anyway, I play that video and I'm going to hear it because I don't want to long out the whole of the front part, so I'm going to get bored. Seeing? So, you don't know. Just watch and you don't know. A lot of people might see it already. You know, see it, obviously. See? But still, more do my best for my people, them see it. You know, see it. Don't know the struggle where we are fight. Time over there, they are waste and a fight and a kill off one another. We are the people work for them. You know, see it. And people work on order for them free, people assassination work on order for them free. You know, see it. Yes, I. Yes, I. Press button business. But watch the video and make us see what I go on there. We're chatting on bit.
So Haiti is the poorest country in the world. However, you might be very surprised to find out why Haiti is the poorest country in the world. Haiti was one of the richest places on the planet in the 1700s. The population of Haiti was 4-to-1 slave to free Frenchmen. So you basically had about 450,000 slaves there and 120,000, 125,000 free Frenchmen and women. Led by a slave named Toussaint, Haiti successfully overthrew one of the most powerful armies on the planet in 1804 and declared their independence. However, France made a deal with them, with warships at the ready, saying that we will invade you, recapture you, and re-enslave you unless you pay for the lost property. Well, that lost property was the human lives of the Haitians themselves. So France slapped Haiti with a $21 billion bill. That's $21 billion in today's money. It took until 1947 to pay off the initial loan. It took Haiti almost 150 years to pay off that loan. And obviously you guys know about loans and financing and debt. So how did Haiti pay that money off? Especially because France forced them to give them 50% off of their products. So Haiti was accounting for 3/4 of the world's sugar at the time. And I think a quarter or maybe 1/3 of the entire slave trade at the time. Saint-Domingue was also known as the capital of the slave trade in the West Indies, and also the worst place for a slave to end up because it was so brutal, torturous, and you could be raped and kidnapped at any point in time and sent anywhere in the world. So that debt was financed and collected by French banks, as well as an American bank that was established in 1812, which is called Citibank. That's right. Your bank has been collecting money from Haitian people to pay for their own freedom since 1812 and stopped only in 1947. With the natural resources and the people working the land that Haiti had, it should have been one of the richest countries in the world. But the transfer of wealth from Haiti to France and Haiti to French banks and Haiti to American banks to finance what is called the independence debt, which is no more than a debt for the descendants of slavery to continue to pay the countries and the people that enslaved them for their own freedom. It's well documented. It's well documented that the debt was based on slave owners losing their property. In 2004, the Haitian government demanded that France pay back the billions of dollars that it forced the Haitian people to pay for its own freedom. So think about this. It's like France had their warships ready, just basically gangstered their way into Haiti's pockets. After Haiti beat the French military in 1804, by 1825, France had warships at the ready. Off the coast of Haiti, looking at the island like, nice island you got there. Be a real shame if something happened to it. Okay? So basically France is like, nice island you got there. Nice freedom you've gained there. Be ashamed if something happened to it. Wow. That's the most gangster, ridiculous, disgraceful shit I've ever heard in my life. In 2004, the Haitian government demanded that France pay back the billions of dollars it paid to protect its own borders and to be a sovereign nation. Can you imagine if you had to pay somebody so that they wouldn't attack you? If you had to pay somebody so that they wouldn't enslave you? If you had to pay somebody because your great-grandparents had been kidnapped and held hostage, and the price that you had to pay for a free life was billions of dollars to the people who did it. I'm trying to wrap my head around what that would feel like, and I guess you have to ask a Haitian person. Wow, France, really? Really? And after the Haitian government demanded that France pay back the billions of dollars that it unfairly had to pay to France to keep their sovereignty, to keep their freedom, to keep their lives, 11 years later in 2015, France said, fuck you. Really, France? Wow, that's not going to age well. So if you've ever wondered why Haiti's so poor, ask France. This is the most egregious and famous independence that the Caribbean has had to pay to its former enslavers. But it's not the only one. Just imagine where this world would be if black people didn't have to pay back the children of the enslavers. Now, I really want you to think about that for a second. Where would this world be if the descendants of slaves didn't have to pay back the descendants of the slave owners? The descendants of slaves had to pay back a debt to the people who enslaved them and their children and their children and their descendants. Where would we be if that ridiculous shit never happened? Where would Haiti be right now if France gave them back the $21 billion that they gave them for their lives and their freedom? People refer to reparations as if it's not owed, as if it's a controversial stance. However, nobody said shit when Haiti had to pay $21 billion just to keep their lives. So somehow it's controversial that the descendants of the people who were held hostage and kidnapped want to be paid for their troubles, want to be paid for the injustices done to their ancestors, and how those injustices play out and manifest in our lives today. There needs to be repair of that. However, that's a controversial issue, but it's not a controversial issue for some reason that the Haitian people and several other islands in the Caribbean had to pay back the slave owners and the slave owners' descendants for loss of property. Is it starting to sink in? I don't know what the answer is, but if you're French, I highly recommend that you reach out to your government and tell them to give Haiti their money back. It's fucking disgraceful. I love you guys. I'm just being honest.
Yes, you can hear the American brethren see it, and you can see the emotion in their face, or them feel in regards to the revelation of the reality, the truth. You know, see it. So I hope the them take stack Rasta and know them position and know where the real battle is, and know so them gun the guy 80 from 2004 and them time the onward gun just a stream in a 80 so, and watch where the gun them a come back at Jamaica. Easy. Like so, well then, you know, there is no sort of stop, like it's a river run from off a mountain and there is no stopping it. You know, see it? No disrespect. The government can do better. And to me, that is a purposely done strategic plan. You know, I forget Jamaica, because from in the 80s, from in the late the 70s, plan was for Jamaica crumble upon it. Me, you know, to the point whereby we force out the Prime Minister and they say it there seeing a ganja money and the man when they are foreign sell them drugs and the other rest of people when they are America before that we are sending remittance come at Jamaica. And that save on a life till now, you know, youth. That build that balance the economy until they shame them have to back shame out of them mouth and assist it back to come back on a national level because they live without the country couldn't take care of we were there. You know, see it, people where they are abroad, that are international news. Right now, one of the biggest earner in Jamaica, a remittance money where come from foreign. See? So when you discharge the potential for people visit down there or even want look back on uno down there and uno self on a shot now put and it was set and made so the least good thing happen to make national news about Jamaica. You know, see it? Literally I tell tourists and I tell returning residents and look back down there. You know, see it? But I feel like some people out there are finding work and I send money come give people at Jamaica. Like so well them just there for a mind people like them and eat there. People want to know so them take care of their families so that them can come back and breeze off and cool off little probably or even come home to. Come live. Start a business or something. See prospect whereby Jamaican can build back Jamaica. You know, see it? And them alone a target because on the non-target no other body else will come and come try to do anything. You know, see it? You know, see it? And as youth right now, on a life to remittance because in 1980, you know that the dead for hungry. We would have all dead for hungry. We wouldn't exist. You know, see it? I would have broke out in a state of war like we 80 in a now. You know, see it? I don't wonder how the gun them, wonder how the gun them reach on so easy and free and cheap. Them have a plan the same way going on 80 and the same look on 80 right now. You know, see it? From black people and Jamaicans start asking for reparation money, the one where we have to pay back added to the cities them where we build for free and them thing there. Remember me tell you the war is on. You know, see it? Mental revolution. Clear on the mind and stop going like idiots. Stop buying to the slave master trick. And him plan with him have fun all along him just keep it in a chaos. Can't focus. Can't develop or build nothing. You know, see it? Jamaica is a place where dreams come from. Where motivations come from. Positive energy come from. We usually direct, elevate, inspire the rest of the world. Jamaica make Iraq kick Britain out of Iraq. Jamaica make India kick Britain out of India. Because of the rebellion them Jamaica keep up on them. Them I hear about them all over the world. Same way as them are. And the people them over there say, wait, little Jamaica where I carry them people that go there as slave. You know, see it? Come on, man. And fix up on yourself, man, and do better, man. At the time for it now, Rasta. You know, see it? No disrespect by a popular demand. Yeah, man, the people I'm setting up, man, I want to buy into the setup, man, I really play. You know, see it? The game. Anyway, more blessed. Share, like, and subscribe. Yes, sir. Blessed.